Hello my wonderful and beautiful subscribers. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's the one and only your girl, the cartoon hotspot, and we're back again with another video where this time we are going to rank each and every hero introduction episode. So yeah, we're going to be ranking the hero introduction episodes and how well they really introduced each hero, because you'll find in this video the ones at the top of the rankings are there for a reason and the ones at the bottom of the ranking are not so great. For a reason, of course, I will explain later on in this video. But first of all, this video is sponsored by HARRIYANNA Hook. Remember guys, she's the captain, we are not her first mate because nobody worthy being her first mate. HARRIYANNA Hook is an amazing YouTuber with amazing content, and if you guys didn't already know, she also has an online store in which you can purchase so many great merchandise from there. I am wearing the Fox Miraculous because I am the real life Alia Suzette. Stay connected.
Stay connected.
And I'm also wearing the Zoe Lee hoodie. If you guys didn't watch my previous video, I was wearing the Bugaboo hoodie. Now I'm wearing the Zoe Lee hoodie. And later on in this video, when I talk about Guilt Trip, which is Pigella's episode, I'm gonna switch hoodies for the culture. I have got tons of stuff, so look at this cute packaging as well. I'm gonna show you guys what I have in there. I have nail polish, you know, lip glosses. I'm actually wearing one of the shades of lip gloss right now. I think it's Marinette's lip gloss I'm wearing, because we all love Marinette's lip gloss. Her lip gloss is flawless. Yeah, I'm wearing Marinette's lip gloss right now. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. The lip glosses and the nail varnish are cruelty free and vegan, so don't forget that. I also have more stuff like the Bugaboo sleeping mask, which matches the Bugaboo necklace that I had and I wore in the last video. I also have a Ladybug do-rag. See, the packaging's so cute. Ladybug do-rag. The Ladybug bonnet for sleeping, right? So I just put it on, tuck my hair in. Obviously when I have my natural hair in, because I don't wear bonnets when I have like braids in. A cap. And the last thing that I want to show you guys is this really cute bag. Black Girl Magic. There are other amazing stuff on the website as well. So use my code HOTSPOT30 and you get 30% off all of your orders. HARRIYANNAHOOK.com, and the link will be left down in the description box below. But without further ado, let's rank the hero introduction episode. Unless I can't count, it's been a while since I've done maths, there are 13 hero introduction episodes. At the bottom of the list, so in 13th place, is Penultime. I actually really liked Penultime when I was watching the episode. I think it was a cute episode, and I love episodes with the class. Like, I absolutely love them, which is probably why I really love season 1, because most of the episodes take place in the class. However, Penultime, after talking with you guys and asking you guys for your opinions on like what the weakest episode of season 4 was, and a lot of you said Penultime, I was like, I really like Penultime, like why do they think that? But you guys gave me your reasons and I was like, yeah, Penultime was really weak and it should not have been placed right before the finale. So my main issue with Penultime is that it shoved way too many heroes all at once, to the point I was like, I don't care about these other characters. Like, usually I'm excited to see all these other characters get their Miraculous. Like, I was excited for Max, I was excited for, we're not gonna get onto him, we'll get onto him later on. I was excited for Max, I was excited for Luca, I was excited for Kagami. But like when it came to Penultime, I was not excited for Sabrina, Mark, Nathaniel and Ivan, especially Sabrina, because one, I don't like Sabrina at all, but that's a topic for another video. And regardless whether or not I care about these characters, they do deserve their own episodes, because like I feel like one thing Miraculous doesn't really do well compared to other shows is that they focus a lot on Marinette and Adrian and Ali, and you know, they're just getting to, you know, focus on like Ali and, you know, Kagami, Luca. But there are other characters with great personalities and that a lot of people may relate to, because, you know, having character arcs isn't just, you know, like contained. There are so many possible avenues, like with Julika and her feelings of invisibility, with Mark and his anxiety. I just feel like it just wasn't done justice, these characters. So Mark, Nathaniel, Ivan, and Sabrina. Also, regarding Sabrina, I don't really think she deserves a dog Miraculous. Like, she was just there. What has she done to prove herself? If they were going for the whole just give everyone a Miraculous before the finale just so they could lose it again, they didn't have to do that. They really did not have to do that, because the finale would have still worked with Felix taking all the Miraculous without them being assigned to owners. It still would have worked, I promise you. None of the characters earned the Miraculous, and if they did earn it, it wasn't very convincing. There has to be like a trait or one scene that gets us thinking, yes, they deserve that Miraculous 100%. Especially with the lore of Miraculous, you've got all of these Miraculouses that, you know, symbolize the Chinese zodiac, and all of these animals, so the pig, the ox, the turtle, and all of that, they do have symbolisms. Like, I'm telling you straight up, they do have the symbolisms and a specific character trait that ties into these heroes. Utilize that. Yeah, I guess the dog is very obedient, but Sabrina's obedience isn't, you know, healthy at all. So I have no idea what message they were trying to portray over there. So no, Penalty, you're at the bottom of the list. I'm so sorry. Next, ranking in 12th place is Party Crasher, Kim's episode. Party Crasher felt like a fever dream, as in, like, I was so confused during that episode, but I was living for it because it was just such a fun episode, which is exactly why it shouldn't be a hero introduction episode. And as much as I don't really care about Kim, it's kind of sad that he basically got one of the worst hero introduction episodes, considering the Monkey Miraculous is very, very powerful, supposedly. Kim deserves a better introduction episode because, like I said, the Monkey Miraculous is very powerful, and I just feel like his test wasn't that solid, as in he literally helped Master Fu when he nearly fell. And first of all, why was Master Fu at a party with the miracle box? Talk about responsibility. Like, why was he there? It's the fact he literally brought the miracle box to the Agreste mansion unknowingly. Gabriel Agreste, which is Hawkmoth, that is his mansion. Hello, like, I will drag Master Fu in another video. Another issue I have with the episode is nobody really focused on Kim. It's like when everything else failed, Kim was just the alternative. And there wasn't a specific scene where I was just like, yes, Kim, you earn it. You deserve that Miraculous. I was just like, okay, yeah, just give it to Kim because his power is just, you know, most convenient for this episode. And I'm just like, yeah, call it a day. Like, when I think of Party Crasher, I don't think of it as Kim's episode. I just think of it as a very, very huge fever dream. It was super fun. It was so funny. Like, some of the scenes out of context are hilarious, but that's about it. So Party Crasher, I'm sorry, but you're in 12th place for a reason. Brace yourself for this one. But in 11th position is Desperada. If this video was purely subjective and just my opinion, Desperada would be at the bottom of the list because that's how much I dislike that episode. Like, I would never, ever, 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 ever watch Desperada at will. You'd have to either hold me at gunpoint or pay me like $100 million to watch Desperada. I just won't, I'm sorry. Desperada is just cringy. Not because of Adrian, you know, being aspic, because I actually found that enjoyable-ish, but because of Marinette. It comes to a point where you're just like, Marinette, no, baby, you're better than this. And I get the whole, like, she's conflicted about her feelings and, you know, like, that's completely fine. But Desperada focused more on Adrian rather than the actual hero himself, Luca, which isn't a bad thing because we love Adrian-centered episodes, we want more of that. But for a hero introduction episode, you know, don't you think it'd be smart to focus on the hero? But why this episode really sucks is because Luca didn't actively, like, go out of his way to prove why he's the rightful holder of the Snake Miraculous. And considering his Miraculous, the Snake Miraculous, is pretty dangerous considering it's a time traveling Miraculous, sort of. you'd think his episode will be huge because you can't just hand out a time miraculous to anybody. That person has to be the perfect person for a time miraculous. And in all honesty, I see it. Luca is the perfect holder of the snake miraculous. But the show did a really bad job in showing us. They told us, but they didn't show it. And like, it's a writer's rule of thumb, show, don't tell. This episode had Adrian say, kind, brave, why don't you give the miraculous to him?
Brave, determined, caring? Why don't you give him the miraculous?
Adrian's like, oh, just give it to him. Like, he didn't prove himself. Luca did not prove himself, and that's not necessarily his fault. That's more of like a, you know, writing issue. I'm guessing the holder of the snake miraculous has to be like patient and observing, which is Luca. Luca is very patient and observant, and he doesn't rush into things very easily, which makes the perfect snake holder because you can't really mess with time and you can't be like impulsive and that, which is Luca. Luca's great for the snake miraculous. We didn't see it. We only saw it once he got the miraculous. Luca already is a very bland character, so I was kind of hoping Desperada would, you know, focus more on his heroic side and a different side to his character. Desperada just simply wasn't it, and that's why it's at the bottom of the ranking in 11th place. In 10th place, just above Desperada, is IKARI GOZEN. I actually really enjoyed IKARI GOZEN because Kagami is one of my favorite characters, and my biggest flex is I never hated Kagami. But IKARI GOZEN is really not the strongest hero introduction episode. I feel like it was really strong in itself, just, you know, focusing on Marigami and their friendship. But as a hero introduction episode, there's something missing from it. IKARI GOZEN is where I realized the writers weren't focusing on the character, but rather focusing on the villains. And that's my main problem with these hero introduction episodes. This person gets akumatized. Okay, so I'm just gonna have this person who's related to that person have the miraculous. When really it should be focusing on the miraculous's power and how that power ties best into this character and why they fit, you know? Because Long is the tiki of, what am I saying? Long is the tiki of perfection. Long is the Kwame of perfection. Kagami's arc is all about like being perfect and, you know, trying to impress her mother and all of that, which I get. But it's still very convenient that her mom got akumatized and Kagami is the hero of the episode. I didn't appreciate how Kagami revealed her identity, and I get it's part of her character, but there are other ways to flesh out her flaws without having such a detrimental situation at hand. We've seen Chloe reveal her identity to impress her mom. Now we're seeing Kagami reveal her identity to impress her mom. And it's just like, do we need to see a repeat? Because Kagami is brash, impulsive, and we could have seen that in other ways that didn't involve her recklessly revealing her identity. Yeah, that's IKARI GOZEN. Again, as an episode, it was fine. As a hero introduction episode, just wasn't the best in my personal opinion. In 9th place, just above IKARI GOZEN, is Star Train. Same issue. Max was there for convenience. His mom was akumatized. Surprise, surprise, Max is getting his miraculous. These episodes could still work if it was like a completely different person getting akumatized that is not related to the hero in question. All that matters is the hero's qualities and how they translate to the miraculous. Star Train is a bit iffy because like it's not terrible, but it's not the best either. I just had to put it somewhere. Next on my list in 8th position is Queen Banana. Queen Banana wasn't too bad. I think Zoe kind of earned it, but to be honest, anyone who isn't Chloe could be fit to earn the, you know, be miraculous. And it's really weird just meeting Zoe in the previous episode, Soul Crusher, but then her becoming a hero in the next episode. And I can honestly see why a lot of people have a problem with that, but at least she's nice, like, and is an actual decent person. I'd honestly rather take Zoe being the Beam Miraculous holder than Chloe. She was very mature, she was very patient, she was, you know, very understanding and compassionate. She gave up the role for Chloe to be the leading actress when Zoe kind of earned that, but she was like, you know what, just let Chloe have it. In terms of how that translates to her being a hero, specifically the holder of the Be Miraculous, I don't know. I really don't know. But it's not a terrible episode. It's just there. Like Star Train, it just had to be put somewhere, and it's not going to be at the top of the list. So it's probably going to be more so at the bottom of the list. Next, The Queen's Battle. So the Queen's Battle, which is in season 2, aired in like 2018. I was like 14, 15. And yeah, I'm 19 now. 4 years is kind of a jump, but I guarantee you guys, like if I watched it now, like if the Queen's Battle aired right now as I'm speaking, I would not feel sorry for Chloe, and I would not be rooting for her to get the Be Miraculous, because back then I was. I feel bad for the way her mom treats her. However, there's a difference between an explanation and justification, because a lot of you really need to understand that. Audrey's treatment towards Chloe explains Chloe's like distant nature and why she's the way she is, and you know, like Chloe just being very bitter, but it doesn't justify it. So let's get that out of the way. But as an episode, the Queen's Battle honestly did better than the ones at the bottom, because something was there that the others were lacking. Another reason why I don't think Chloe deserves her Miraculous is because, hello, did we forget she nearly killed a bunch of passengers on the train because what? She was trying to prove to Paris that she could be a good hero. Sorry, you don't create danger to save people. No. Why Marinette was feeling bad for her in Malediktator and then gave her like the Miraculous because Chloe was like, oh yeah, I feel useless, just isn't enough in my opinion, because she didn't even apologize for it. Like, she apologized to Ladybug and Cat Noir, but not to the people she hurt. And that's a huge issue in my eyes, considering the next episode, Malediktator, she came into class showing off that she's a hero, bragging when you literally tried to kill a bunch of passengers the previous day. That doesn't sit right to me, and that's not the making of a hero. And I'm ranking it based on like what 15-year-old me like saw in that episode, and I think it was really crucial for Chloe to admit that she feels useless, because I feel like I resonated with that side of Chloe's character, and the episode kind of convinced me that Chloe's going to change, but then she didn't. So that's the only reason why I ranted earlier on about Chloe not deserving the Miraculous, because like now that we're long past season 2, she never deserved it in the first place. But back then, it looked like she did, if you understand what I'm saying. In 6th place, just above the Queen's Battle, is Sapotes. And this kind of like hurt me to put Sapotes this low, because considering Alia was like the first hero outside of Adrian and Marinette to earn her Miraculous, compared to the other heroes, what I will say is Alia actually proved as time went by why she's the rightful owner of the Fox Miraculous. So she didn't necessarily prove it in Sapotes, but because Alia had more screen time than these other characters who are heroes, it's well deserved. So as a hero introduction episode, it was pretty weak, but I'ma just let it slide. I do like in the episode how she was like nervous, which showed a different side to her usual like confident demeanor. Like, yeah, she's the perfect fit for the Fox Miraculous, but like it's still very nerve-wracking considering she's the first one. And I think Alia got that, like, oh wow, I'm the first hero to actually get a Miraculous that isn't, you know, Ladybug and Cat Noir. I can understand why she'd be quite nervous. Alia refusing to give back her Miraculous is something I really don't understand. And the fact that Trix had to sort of manipulate her into giving it back is just, I don't really like that. I said, it just felt very convenient that, you know, Alia's sisters get akumatized, so Alia is like the focus of the episode, when it could literally, anyone could get akumatized and the Fox Miraculous would come in handy, literally in almost every scenario, you know? So yeah, my main issues is that these episodes are focusing on the villains rather than the heroes and how their traits tie into that specific Miraculous. Sapotes isn't the worst, but it's just very disappointing for like the first hero introduction episode. And my ring light is off again. Great. Okay, so we're getting towards the top. Next on the ranking, in 5th place, just above Sapotes, is CROCODUEL. CROCODUEL and Sapotes are pretty similar to me. I really don't see a difference in them. Like, they're actually very similar. I do really like Juleka and find her character very interesting and underrated. And on that note, there is a video by HARRIYANNA Hook, so more promo time, analyzing Julika's character and like just the nuance behind it, because like Julika is a character nobody really like talks about and focuses on, but I think she's one of the most relatable characters personally for me, because she was always feeling invisible and she struggles with anxiety and she gets very anxious really easily, and to have that contrast as her being this very anxious and shy person that doesn't really speak much, but then to having the Tiger Miraculous where she has to be bold and loud and outgoing, I like that contrast. And that's the difference between CROCODUEL and the other episodes that I ranked beneath it. She earned her Miraculous, but only as the episode went on, because I don't really see why Marinette was thinking of Julika. There was really no reason why like Marinette or Ladybug, you know, had Julika in mind, unless Julika did something very significant for her to be on Marinette's mind in terms of choosing who would be the perfect holder for the Tiger Miraculous. Because Julika and the Tiger Miraculous are a perfect fit, don't get me wrong. It's just, I just didn't see like what would have prompted Marinette to making that choice in the first place. Yeah. Julika learning to speak up for herself and not feel so invisible is a great message, and becoming a hero was a great way to encapsulate that message. So honestly, I don't really have that much of a problem with CROCODUEL. I think she's a perfect holder of the Tiger Miraculous, because sometimes heroes aren't naturally born, and that's okay. Sometimes you have to work your way into being something and you learn more about yourself, and you discover more traits about yourself that you didn't realize you had until you were given this opportunity, which I think is a perfect fit for Julika. CROCODUEL, you're okay in my eyes. That's why you're 5th position. In 4th position is LEECH. Polymouse was a serve, and this is coming from someone who doesn't even like Milène, and I'm not even going to get into why I dislike Milène. That is for another day. But yeah, I don't like Milène, but I even have to admit, like, she served as Polymouse. Like, she understood the assignment. Like Julika, she overcame her fear and persevered through and proved why she was worthy of being a Mouse Miraculous holder. Again, Milène to me is kind of interesting because like she's scared of everything. Milène is a scaredy cat, like just get it out there. Milène is a scaredy cat, but seeing her like, you know, have these exercises where she calms herself down, because I get the feeling like Milène can suffer from like anxiety, just like Julika. To see her like, you know, have these daily breathing exercises and just calming herself down and, you know, giving herself a pep talk, I really related to that, and I really appreciated that, because again, not all heroes are going to be brave and courageous at first glance. They're going to have to work their way to that. What makes a hero is someone willing to push through, even when everyone doubts them, even when it's very scary. With the other episodes that I've ranked, there wasn't a specific scene in which like really, you know, like hit the nail on the coffin in terms of, yes, this is why you deserve to be this hero. With LEECH, I vividly remember when Marinette and Milène were running away and were like hiding in the sewers. Marinette was trying to like go to transform, but Milène was like, don't be scared, like I have a badge for this, I have a badge for this, and I get scared sometimes, but what matters is that, you know, we push through our fears. And she said it herself, like Milène said it herself.
There's no shame in being afraid, Marinette. I'm scared too, of the dark, of humidity, of germs, and even mice. If you ever get too scared, just hold this badge and remember, fear is a natural reflex, but you can overcome it. And Marinette smiled, and that's when I was like, yeah, Marinette, that's why she deserves to be a holder. Marinette was thinking it in her head, and that's why she came for Milène and gave her the Mouse Miraculous, because Milène proved herself even before Marinette could even think of Milène or think of someone to give the Mouse Miraculous to.
Do you realize how many fears you've managed to overcome? The objects that help you get over your fears are just like the Miraculous. Truth is, you already are a superheroine.
All it takes is just one scene, doesn't matter how long it is, one scene to prove that character, and that is it. Because these other episodes, the character is just either there for convenience or just Marinette just randomly thinks of this person and gives it to them. Milène proved herself. She served as Polymouse, and I will continue defending Polymouse. Okay, one of my personal faves. In 3rd position, as you guessed it, is Guilt Trip. Guilt Trip, as you know, is Pagela's episode, Rose's episode, and as promised, I said I was going to switch hoodies. I'm still wearing my fox pendant, but I am wearing the Rejoice. It says Rejoice here and it says Rejoice at the back. Guilt Trip was the episode where Rose got her powers, and honestly I think it was a very well done episode, which is why I love it so much. Rose earned her Miraculous, and I honestly cannot imagine anybody else fit to be the pig Miraculous owner. Rose proved, and it was so clear and well done in the episode, Rose proved why she's the holder of the pig Miraculous, because she's very bubbly and positive, and she always makes the best out of a worse situation. Like, that's one thing I've always enjoyed about Rose's character. She's always so bubbly. You need someone on a superhero team that, you know, is very bubbly, and when spirits are low, she's the one to uplift the spirits. And I do understand, like, in what situation would you use the pig Miraculous? Because yeah, Guilt Trip was very specific, which is probably its only flaw in terms of a hero introduction episode. It was just like, it was very specific. So yeah, and what other situation would you use like Rose for? But in all honesty, like, my point still stands. Like, you don't need to be, you know, tall and like brave and, you know, a good fighter to be a hero. Sometimes a great hero is just someone who uplifts spirits, and that's okay. And I really loved how, like, even in the worst of situations, when we found out Rose is sick from a specific illness, like, she was still very positive and she was still looking out for her classmates and Julika, and that's just what makes a hero, because she put other people's needs above her own. Rose earned her Miraculous. Like, it was so clear, and it wasn't even them just telling us, it was them showing us. Remember, show, don't tell. Guilt Trip did that, and that's why it's in 3rd position. The top 2. In 2nd position is ANANSI. Now, ANANSI is Nino's introduction episode, and in all honesty, Nino's introduction episode was a serve, but it's so underrated, and I don't understand why. Just such a great episode, and it deserves more hype. So let's hype it up. It's exactly how I expect a good hero introduction episode to go, an amazing hero introduction episode. At first, the hero doubts himself, and then he realizes he could be so much more, and then a lot of people like talk him down, blah blah blah, but then he proves and pushes through, and he doesn't let himself get knocked over, and then he proves why he deserves to be a hero, and he feels good about himself. That's exactly what happened with Nino. Nino's determination in protecting the people he cares about, even if that meant putting himself in direct danger, is why he deserves to be the rightful owner of the Turtle Miraculous. ANANSI and Guilt Trip, and the episode that I rank in 1st position, as you'll see later on in this video, these episodes are one of the few episodes where the actual like Miraculous ties so well into the character, because I'm presuming the Turtle Miraculous holder, i.e. the holder of protection, as a hero, you have to protect other people before you protect yourself. As a hero, you have to be compassionate. Let's keep in mind that Nino wasn't transformed. He spent most of the time fighting ANANSI in his civilian form. That could have caused a lot of damage. And yeah, it was reckless, but that's what makes me appreciate Nino's character. And Nino in himself is a very underrated character, and I wish more people like hyped him up. Being a hero means putting other people above yourself. And I'm not saying the other heroes are selfish, it's just that Nino just did a better job in embodying his Miraculous and how his Miraculous ties into his character. Also, a hero is someone who isn't beaten down so easily, because despite ANANSI making fun of Nino and insulting him and calling him a flyweight, he still pushed through, because it didn't matter what anyone else thought about him. All that mattered was that Alia was brought to safety. He did not care, and I 100% guarantee it, if it was anyone else in the situation, not just Alia, if it was Marinette, if it was Adrian, he would have done the same thing. Like, I 100% guarantee it. Like, that's one thing I'm willing to bet, and that's what I love so much about Nino. His courage, his compassion, everything. Yeah, ANANSI was a serve, and you guys should hype it up way more. And finally, reigning in top place, 1st position, is the Origins episode. Very understandable, because like
it's the first ever one, and it's Adrien and Marinette's episode, so it has to be good. Because if this one isn't good, then why would the others be good? But yeah, Origins is in the top place because I just love Origins and it did a really good job. More on Marinette's side, but Adrian's like, why he deserves to be a hero, the nuance is there, just not a lot of people will pick up on it, which is why I did make a video on how and why Adrien is the holder of the Black Cat Miraculous. So I'll leave a link down in the description box below. But regardless, let's first talk about the criticisms because we're going to be objective. The criticism I have for Origins is the fact Master Fu's test was very easy, but it was also very dangerous. But let's talk about why it was dangerous. Okay. Why would you think the best way to find a hero is by putting yourself in danger in the middle of a road where cars are moving? Because all it would have taken is 1 second and both of them would have been badly injured. Like, if Marinette wasn't, you know, paying attention and she wasn't quick on her feet, they would have been seriously injured. Why would you risk the life of a 14-year-old or anyone for that matter? The principle was there. Execution, I just didn't really appreciate it because and in regards to like Adrien and why he was chosen, again, principle was there and it's nuanced, but by Master Fu's logic, anyone there could have helped him. And could you imagine if, I don't know, Natalie was the one that helped Master Fu up? That would have been disastrous. Or could you imagine if Lila was there or Chloe was there and then he gave the Miraculous to either of them? That would have been horrendous and disastrous. That logic makes no sense whatsoever. Marinette and Adrien proved they are worthy to be the Ladybug and Black Cat holder. Adrien proved it as the series progressed, but like I said, I've explained why Adrien is the holder of the Black Cat Miraculous. But to summarize, because destruction is a power that you don't want to hand out to anyone, and the Black Cat holder has to be very, very, very compassionate, selfless, and that's Adrien. So Adrien sacrificed his needs and wants in wanting to go to school, and in by doing that he helped an old man but kind of lost his chance in going to school, but he gained a greater reward, greater freedom. So if he just continued walking into the school instead of helping Master Fu, his father would have pulled him out and he would have never been able to become Cat Noir and he would have never been able to gain freedom. That is the explanation there. Marinette persevered and learned from her mistake. The fact that like nobody else was willing to stand up for Paris, but she took the role. She stood up to Hawkmoth and proved why she'd be the best holder of the Ladybug Miraculous. That was amazing. But initially she gave up the Miraculous because she made a mistake. Then she realized, no, I have to do it because her friends are in danger, and if nobody's there to protect her friends, who will? And then like the whole, you know, using her lucky charm and doing this and that, like it just explains Marinette's character so well. Like the Ladybug holder has to be extremely creative and make the best out of the worst situations. That's exactly Marinette, and she really earned her Miraculous. Like it was well done. Yeah, I just love Origins. It's honestly my favorite episode of the entire series. And it's the best hero introduction episode. And that is me ranking the hero introduction episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. But now I want to put it to you guys. What do you think was the best hero introduction episode? Felt like I've, you know, been biased to some of them, but then too lenient to others. How would you personally rank all of these 13 episodes? Would you have a completely different order, or would your order be relatively similar? Let me know down in the comment section below. But as for today, that's it from me, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.